Johannesburg. The situation in Westbury, west of Johannesburg, remains volatile. Roads leading into the township continue to be inaccessible. Residents have blockaded several roads with burning tires and rubble. This after a woman was shot dead and her child injured outside the Rahima Musa Mother and Child Hospital yesterday. The woman was caught in the crossfire of a shootout between suspected gang members.
Gathered at the Sophia Town police station, hundreds of residents demanding action against crime. They accuse the police of doing little to reduce violence in the area. Residents say drug dens and gang-related crime are ravaging their community. They've also accused the police of colluding with drug lords.
The cops here at Newlands, Sophia Town, know exactly what's going on here because we report to them exactly our problems and nothing's been done. Instead, what you find is a bunch of corrupt cops at Newlands, Sophia Town. This is my prayer, is that this cop station should be closed.
In the wake of the latest shooting and death, the community has called on the government to bring in the army to control the situation.
The people of Westbury and the surrounding areas are sick and tired of all the gang violence, the drugs and the corruption at the Sophia Town police station. We are calling for an urgent meeting with the Minister of Police, but preferably with our President Cyril Ramaphosa, that he would come here and address all of these issues.
At least 2 people sustained injuries when police fired rubber bullets to disperse the crowd.
We saw several streets that were blocked, and some of the residents came to the police station and burned tires. While they were burning tires, we warned them not to block the entrance of the police station. In that situation, we fired rubber bullets, and 2 of the residents were arrested. They will be charged with public violence.
Residents have vowed to continue their protest until officials take action. Meanwhile, 2 suspects have been arrested in connection with yesterday's shooting, one of which is under police guard in hospital. The suspects are expected to appear in court on charges of murder and attempted murder. Weapons have been confiscated during overnight raids in Westbury. Since last night, 300 Johannesburg Metro Police have been deployed to the area.
And for the latest on that story, we are now joined by reporter Mangoba Mkunu, who is at Westbury at this current moment. Mangoba, good evening to you. Thank you so much for coming through. What's the situation like currently? We heard the residents earlier vowing to continue their protest until Minister Bekicele visit their area, but we see that it's raining now.
Well, indeed, Palisa, it is the situation right now, and I think certainly this rain has put a damper on the protest that we saw here just a short while ago, with some of the community members coming here and blockading this busy intersection, insisting that they are not going to retreat back to their homes until some official from the Gauteng provincial government comes to address them. And they were insisting, of course, that they want the MEC for Safety, Sizagele Malobane Nkosi, to come and address them. We did hear that she also did make her way here to the community earlier this afternoon, but only going as far as the police station. And that seemed to have angered most of these protesters who have gathered here outside here, who continue to burn tires and continue to blockade this stretch of street with burning tires, as well as some of the rocks this afternoon. And of course, the community members saying that they are not done yet with their protest. They believe that they are fighting for a just cause, saying that they are tired of the gang violence in this community. They are tired of the killings that continue to terrorize this community. And of course, saying that their protest will continue tomorrow morning. I spoke to some of them earlier on, saying that as early as 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, they're going to come back here on the streets and they're going to gather here until some official from government comes to address them. And of course, I think the police also having taken their part this afternoon. Some of the Metro Police still stationed here at the scene, keeping an eye on developments here outside on this particular stretch of street. And of course, beefing up security. As you recall, that the traffic at about 2 hours ago had completely come to a halt due to the protest. So the Metro Police coming in to come and sort of try and remove some of the rubble. We saw them removing the stones from the road, and as well as some of those burning tires, and opening the road to this traffic so that those who want to use this stretch of street can be able to pass through. But certainly residents saying that they're going to continue tomorrow morning.
Mangoba, their complaints have actually been dragging for the past few years, 3 to 4 years, if I am correct. Have we been able to hear what the provincial government has to say, because about 3 to 4 years ago, Gauteng Premier David Makhura visited the area and actually promised to intervene.
Well, Palisa, certainly I can say that this matter has been going on for years. I remember that I was among those journalists who covered the issues of Westbury as far as 2016, where a 3-year-old boy, Luke Tibbet, was caught in a crossfire when there was a shooting between gang members on Statler Street. And again, the same street, Statler Street, that I'm speaking about, being the same street where that mother unfortunately lost her life when she was also caught in the crossfire by a bullet when there was a shooting that happened a few days ago. And of course, I think what the community is saying is that since 2016, there's been sporadic incidents that have been happening in this community, and that certainly they're saying that over 100 people have lost their lives in this gang violence. And what seems to be happening is that instead of police helping to deal with the situation, these criminals just seem to go on undeterred and fearlessly to go on to continue with these shootings in this area. And they're saying that enough is enough. They're tired of these killings. I spoke to some of the community members earlier on who did indicate that just this week alone, from last week Friday, there has been 9 shootings in this area. And of course, those shootings resulting in the loss of life of 2 people. So the community members are saying that despite the police seemingly promising that they will intervene in the situation, and despite the promises that have been made by government officials, including the MEC for Safety, there has been no action, there has been no change as far as these killings are concerned. People continue to lose their life, and they're saying that in fact at night, when it comes to nightfall, most of the people are even scared to walk on the road because they fear that they might be caught in the crossfire, as it has happened to this lady that was killed a few days ago. So certainly the community is saying that they want to see action taken. They want the police minister to come and address them, to give them assurances that they will take some action with regards to the crime in the area and the gangsterism that continues to plague this community. And they're saying that this time around they want the minister to actually also speak to the Minister of Defense to deploy the members of the army to come and assist with the situation here. We've seen previously that when incidents of shootings do happen in this community, usually police are beefed up in those days, but the community are saying that after those incidents happen, when the police retreat, that's why you see these incidents resurging again. So they are saying that they want this time officials to make a promise that they're going to deal with this issue once and for all.
All right, Mangoba, that's where we'll leave it for now. Thank you so much for coming through. SABC journalist Mangoba Mkunu, live from Westbury. We are scheduled to speak to Community Safety MEC Sizakele Ngosi Malobani. So as soon as we get in touch with the MEC, we'll be able to talk to her and hear what